I left the US and bought a house in Italy for $13K. $13K? That is absolutely insane. All right, this one is coming from CNBC Make It, apparently an American. I know a lot of Americans have been buying homes, especially in Southern Europe, like Spain, Portugal, and Italy, maybe even in Greece as well. There's some type of program that I think these countries put on that allow people to come in and buy up these homes that nobody really lives in anymore. Something similar is happening in Japan as well. I think it's on the west-north side of Japan. There's tons of houses that you can buy for like $5,000 or $10,000 as well. So this is really curious, and it's sparked my interest. So let's go ahead and take a look at it.
We are currently living in the Abruzzo region of Italy. It is about 3 hours east of Rome and about 2.5 hours from Naples. Living in a small town has forced me in the best way possible to slow down and really understand that nothing is that important. A lot of things actually can wait, and a lot of things can be done without the stress and the pressure. The fact that we were able to buy a house all in cash, honestly, at the time felt unbelievable.
Is this the house? It looks really nice.
The fact that we were able to buy a house all in cash, honestly, at the time felt unbelievable. The house that we ended up buying was listed at 13,000 euros, but we ended up purchasing it for around 11,500. My name is Cassandra Tressel. I am 33 years old, and I moved to Italy with my family in 2023.
What are prices like now, though, compared to 2023? All right, so yes, Italian home prices have increased over the last 3 years. Recent quarterly year-over-year figures have been in the plus 3.7% to plus 5.2% range. Dang, all right, so they are going up. That's kind of the opposite of here in the States. Like, a lot of home prices are actually dropping. All right, let's keep going.
Abruzzo stood out to us for a few reasons, but first of all, it is very much lesser known, so I didn't want to deal with issues of mass tourism or over-tourism in popular regions like Tuscany. Abruzzo is very authentic, it feels that way, and it doesn't feel like anything is put on for a show. We also live in a traditional hilltop town. We are almost 1,100 meters above sea level, and so that means we have these magnificent views all around us.
It's pretty high up. Honestly, this place looks like a postcard.
We lived in New York from 2015 to 2019. I was working for a tech startup, and Alex was a butcher at Whole Foods.
Nice.
The last place that we lived in, we were renting for about $2,000 a month in Brooklyn. And I couldn't imagine realistically saving up for a down payment to buy a house somewhere in New York. At the end of
Oh man, you would have to save up at least $100,000 just to put money down on a house in New York.
2020 is when our daughter was born, and that's when we started to think about what's next for our future, for a family. We ended up buying the house in Italy in 2022. This is our home in Abruzzo. Welcome and come on in. We bought the house in cash for $11,500, and
okay, so they did some improvements to it. $17,000 worth of improvements. That's quite a bit. Still though, $30,000, to kind of get into a home that you own outright.
For renovations and decorating, we spent an additional $15,000 on top of that. So this is our living room where we naturally spend the most amount of time together as a family. So now we are going upstairs where 2 of the bedrooms are located.
Those are some steep stairs.
This is our master bedroom, so this is where Alex and I sleep. Also, the state of the house was manageable. The amount of work and the type of work that needed to be done wasn't completely unrealistic.
Yeah, it kind of just like cosmetic changes that they had to do, right? Improvements.
The most expensive part about the renovation was the plumbing, which I think came out to be around $3,000 to replumb the entire house. Now, this is our small but mighty bathroom. And this is my daughter's bedroom, so a lot of color and a lot going on. Now we are moving on to the kitchen, which is undoubtedly the most
The crazy part, okay, this looks a really, really nice kitchen. The crazy part is that she probably still is working remotely and making like American money, but living in Italy. I don't know. I know a lot of the Spanish people don't want expats really moving there. I've heard a little bit of that. We've seen it in some videos as well. How do the Italians feel about it?
Colorful space in the entire house. Raising a child here in Italy, specifically in a small town, has been very cost effective. And the cost for full-time preschool is 60 euros a month. When I talk to my friends who have kids of similar ages back in Seattle, the average cost of something like preschool is like $3,000 a month, which is crazy.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I think our preschool that we sent our kids to was, yeah, not that bad. Like this, it was like 50 or like $100 a month or something, I think.
I would say electricity is about 150 euros a month. We do pay for water, which usually comes out to around 70 euros a month. And then we also have Wi-Fi that we pay for, obviously, so that's around 13 euros a month. And then each of our phone lines and the data that comes with it is around 12 euros a month per phone. The quality of food in Italy is substantially better than anything I've experienced in the US. Whenever we do visit the US now, after being in Europe for a few years, it's funny because whenever we go out to eat or anything, we always feel really bloated because I think we have just adjusted to how the food is in Europe and we're just not meant for the food in the US anymore.
They've adjusted to eating real food.
So this is one of the 3 butcher shops that we regularly go to. Typically we like to buy all of our meat locally in these small butcher shops just because it tastes better, the quality is much better. And we also get cheeses here because every butcher shop will always have like a cheese case. The cheese here is equally as good. We typically spend around 120 euros on groceries, that's per week. And keep in mind, we are feeding a family of 3, plus we have 2 cats and...
All right, I was reading the sign. What did she say? How much did they spend on groceries?
We typically spend around 120 euros on groceries, that's per week. And keep in mind, we are feeding a family of 3, plus we have 2 cats and 2 dogs. Ciao, buonasera. Ciao, ciao, ciao. So moving to a small town in Italy, you have no other choice than to learn Italian. We have learned Italian. I will say that it will never be perfect, and of course I'm always going to be shy and not feeling as confident as I should, but it's a learning curve, and yeah, it's something that...
I mean, that's how you learn a language, right? It's just going, I mean, you should probably know a little bit of it before you get there, but just living it and speaking it every single day. That's probably why it's hard for me to learn languages. I have no one to talk to.
Intentionally, every day. Hey, saluta Niccolangelo. Ciao. Ciao.
Buonasera.
Questo è nuovo? No, è bello. Non l'ho visto mai prima. Sì, sì, ok, capito, capito.
Everybody in this, I don't know if this is like a coffee shop, just big smiles. Everything looks so nice, man. I'm so jealous.
This is our red Fiat 600, so in Italian it's called the Seicento. We bought this car for 1,000 euros and we bought it in cash, so no financing. And we use this car primarily just to get around town. When we lived in New York, I worked for a tech startup, and then when we moved to Europe, I was able to keep that job and work fully remotely. Then I picked up this.
She works for a tech startup. They're probably banking like all of their money. What are their actual monthly expenses if they bought the house and the car outright? It's got to be like under $1,000. I gotta imagine working for a tech startup. I don't know. It could go both ways, but realistically, maybe like 10,000 a month she makes. Possibly, I don't know.
Marketing job for the Italian travel company. I definitely make less now than compared to working for a New York-based company, but my time is much better spent in my opinion. I think my overall relationship just with a career and work in general has changed drastically. I kept thinking, what do I want out of my career? And then I kind of realized maybe I don't care as much as everyone else might care about their career. This one is Fiki. He's our sheepdog. He is an Abruzzese sheepdog. And then this is Tango. And both... We have a rental property in the countryside not too far from us, so Alex totally manages that. He cleans it.
Oh, they bought a rental property as well? Holy cow. I was looking just last night because we're thinking about doing a full month, just staying somewhere. And I was kind of looking around Germany because it's kind of in the middle. And then if we want to, when we want to go travel, the entire family, staying there kind of more central. The prices are, I gotta say, the prices were pretty crazy. I might have been looking on the wrong websites just for a month rental. They were all anywhere between because we need a couple of different beds. There's 5 of us. I was seeing $5,000, $7,000, even up to $8,000, $9,000. The cheapest one I possibly found was $2,000 for an entire month, and it was a 1-bedroom, which isn't really going to work for my family. I wonder what Italy's like though, but I wouldn't be really centrally located.
He repairs everything. It's a lot of work, so that's what Alex gets to do. The second property was purchased for $17,000 as the purchase price, and then I think we put around another $15,000 into it. I would say maybe on average we bring in about €1,000 a month from it. The obvious answer for what I miss the most about the US is definitely my family and friends. At this point in our lives, I could not imagine living back in the US full time. Of course, we will continue to go back and visit our family and friends, but since this has really been all we've known as a family since raising our daughter, I definitely would not want to change that. The best feeling that I continuously get from purchasing a house here is a sense of relief. So every month I don't have to worry about this recurring payment that's going to happen, no paying for a monthly rent or a mortgage. We don't have to account for a large payment every month and it's just done. We own the house in cash, it's paid for in cash, and it's just done and I don't have to think about it. Obviously this also gives me a sense of freedom, not just financially, but it gives me the confidence to not feel like I have to be tied down to a traditional job, and I can explore other creative ways to make money or just things that make me happier than being tied to a regular job.
So peaceful. All right, I'm kind of curious. Why CNBC, did they make this video to show more Americans so that they go there and buy more houses? I don't know. We gotta do a deep dive into expats and kind of their impact in inside of Europe. All right, that was a good video. Thanks for the recommendation, you guys. Julian, thank you, appreciate it. I'm getting out of here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.